Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. This is Young Casper representing RFM Radio, the Young Casper Show. Thank you for joining. Thank you for pressing play. Thank you to all of my listeners. It has been a great week. I've had a first couple days were not too great, but see, it only takes one day to make the week, and I've had a pretty good day. I hope you have as well. We have Miami Dolphins versus the Cincinnati Bengals tonight, and who do you got? Cincinnati coming off of a 2-game losing streak, starting the season 1-2, and they're at home. I'm a Dolphins fan, but I'm a realistic Dolphins fan. I know some Dolphin fans out there are definitely, we're going to win every game. Honestly, no. We don't win every game. We're 1-2 just like the Bengals, and I see a good game here. I'm going to get into some of the stats, but I kind of want to just put my own little input into it. You know, the Cincinnati Bengals will probably win this game. And I hate to say that because I am a major Dolphins fan. And the reason I say that is because I feel as if how we played against Cleveland last week, if the same team shows up, it's going to be disaster. And the Bengals will beat us by 20. But then again, we could have the Dolphins come out and actually show their talent, and if they can beat the Bengals, then that's already a quick turnaround. I mean, who gets Seattle and New England, their first 2 games in the schedule ever? Ever. You know, like that. We have one of the toughest schedules, and I am definitely, I'm not liking it. But then again, it can make us tougher. It can make us a team that can be a playoff caliber team. Maybe not this year, a Super Bowl caliber team, but next year, this could be the developing year for them. If they get in the playoffs and make some noise, that would definitely surprise me, but we'll see. We'll see. It's still early. It doesn't matter. We're due for a good year. We're due for a good year. And the more I think about this game, it's going to be really tough for the Dolphins because there just seem to be no answer for the running game. And that's a problem. We paid a lot of money for that defensive line, and it's not producing. And who's right in the middle? Sue, the one that we paid, I don't even know how many millions, but I know it was definitely 90 or something like that. But to not be able to produce the way that you needed to right away, you really needed to do it last year, and you did okay. But this is supposed to be your breakout year, and we definitely need to see that tonight because Andy Dalton can run just as much as Ryan Tannehill can run. And their running back is definitely due for a good game. He's only rushed for 150, but that's not bad. But we're already 3 games into the season. That's something that you would, it is bad then. Because you think about it, 150, you should probably make that in basically, a good game would be 150. So 2.5 games, you should make that. And that's off of 37 rushes. So that's not too great. But let's get to Andy Dalton, the quarterback. He is 75 for 115, meaning he has 75 completions over 115 passes. Being the team that is 7th in the league in passing yards, that is a decent start for the Cincinnati Bengals, but it also is kind of, you're passing well, but your record is 1-2. I am definitely going. We lost a little bit of connection there, but what I was stating, hopefully I got it on air, is that I was I spent some time in not prison, but I've lived in Cincinnati, basically, just outside in Fairfield, just like how I'm outside of Orlando, being in Altamont. So, I've even been by the Cincinnati Stadium, so it is a team that I like. It is one of my 5 teams, but it's they're not my top. They're not my like number 3 or number 4 or number 5. But because what I got Miami, of course. Green Bay, I like Green Bay. I like Pittsburgh. Or really, Pittsburgh is second, and then Green Bay. And then I like the Broncos. And I like Cincinnati. I know that's some weird teams to kind of like, but that's what it is. And I'm kind of rooting for both teams because honestly, they're both 1-2, not the greatest start to your season, and the loser will be 1-3. So, my number 1 team versus my number 5 team, which are always tough games for me. Tough games because I'm not just a diehard Dolphins fan. Don't get me wrong, I am. But I root for the other 5 teams that I like just as much when they're on or when, and I'm just a football fan in general. But getting back to this game, I am definitely interested to see how the Bengals bounce back from losing 2 games in a row. It is definitely something that, they're 25th in points, 18.7, and then they're 11th in yards overall, 375 passing yards. They're 293 7th, like I've stated, and rushing yards, they're the 27th in the league with 82. And that's something that they have to definitely improve on. And that's why I'm a little scared for the Dolphins, because I believe that, I wouldn't say scared, but I would just be, it should be in the game plan that, Jeremy Hill is going to go off probably because, it's home and, you have to establish that running game to open up the field to make it easier for the wide receivers. So definitely look out for any of you fantasy players, definitely check out Jeremy Hill. If he's on your bench, you might want to play him. And Andy Dalton as well, because our corners are kind of slacking on the Dolphins, so he might have a big game. But then again, I don't want it to necessarily go that way. And then you got AJ Green. He has he's averaging 13.4 yards a reception, so he already has 22 receptions and 295 yards. So he's on a definitely a good start to his season. And like I stated, if Jeremy Hill gets it going, AJ Green is going to just be getting touchdown after touchdown. And that's kind of Cincinnati's play. So moving on to the Dolphins a little bit more now. We kind of covered the Cincinnati. Like I stated, they just did not come to play. So I'm interested to see if the Dolphins defense actually shows up. You all have a job to do and you need to do it. Guys get paid millions, no excuses. But let's move to the offense a little bit, which I'm not completely 100% sold on. Being 21.3 with points, 20th in the league. You got 365 yards, 17th in the league. And then you got passing yards, this is something I do like. Passing yards, 282.7, 10th in the league. Say what you want about Ryan Tannehill. Say what you want. But it takes time to develop a quarterback sometimes. Now, not everyone's a Joe Montana. Sometimes you have to develop a Joe Montana. It takes time. Not everything can be overnight like Drake. And only my young listeners will understand that one. But it just goes to show that he is definitely, I would say when I started the season, when football started this season, I was 50-50 on him. I'm about 75-25, no lie. Because I honestly see potential that a lot of people are missing. And it's his composure. He has a lot more composure this year than I've seen over years, and he's having more control. And I see him changing plays more than he did last year. So that is definitely a major plus. Being a Dolphins fan and being a Ryan Tannehill fan, I've tried to root for the man, and it's kind of like a love hate, thing, and it's. Sometimes he just makes me mad, and sometimes he makes me like really glad that he's our quarterback. So, 113 attempts and only 73 completions. There's definitely some room for improvement there, and it's just 892 yards, and we're already 3 games into the season. Let me definitely state that. Which last game he did throw for over 300 yards, but he also had 3 interceptions. One plus side to that, though, he had 3 touchdowns, which one of the touchdowns was a game winner in overtime. So give him that. So he's 64.6% completion passing. And yeah. Unfortunately, our running backs are definitely slacking. Adrian Foster has only had 16 attempts, 47 yards, and he's our leading rusher. And then Ryan Tannehill is right underneath him. So that's one part that is a major key to any team establishing anything productive with their offense. If they don't have a running game, you can't throw it to your wide receivers, and then your wide receivers get frustrated, and then it's just a disaster from there. And my boy, I can't leave him out. Jarvis Landry, 24 receptions, 314 yards. He's averaging 13.1 per reception, per yards. Man is a beast. And there has been a lot of passes that have been overthrown, and there has been some that he's dropped. I will definitely not just be biased on this by any means, because the Dolphins are my team. But I'm glad I have Jarvis Landry on my fantasy because the man can play, the man can catch, and I'm definitely excited to see more of Parker out there too on the other side of Tannehill, to see how they can coexist, because they played very well in the first half of that Cleveland game. So that is in the league, you definitely need at least 2 wide receivers that are elite, that can go up and get the ball. So there's not going to be a long episode on the overview tonight. Actually, it's only going to be a couple more minutes. I have to make my predictions, but I also have another episode coming on. Sorry, we had a little glitch, but I wanted to say there's also a mixtape that I made the other night that I want you to go ahead and check out, and it is going to be right below this one that is live. So I did a live mixtape the other night, and I'm definitely pretty happy about it. I'm definitely excited. I already got almost 50 hits on it, and it was only like 3 days ago. And I'm definitely excited on where I'm still developing. Alright, predictions tonight. Sorry, we're having glitches for some reason. I don't know why we're having Wi-Fi and LTE service problems, but we're having little glitches, so I apologize about that. But my predictions for the game tonight, I know I hate to say this, and hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm being a realistic NFL fan right now, and a Dolphins fan. And I'm going to go with the Bengals tonight, and the Bengals are going to be 26-18. And I think that's what the score will be. Unfortunately, I hope it's the other way around, but we shall see. With our defense lacking the way it is, I don't know. But this is Young Casper representing RFM Radio, the Young Casper Show. Thank you for joining, and you have a great night.